season. I know it's close to December, but I wanted to make this at some point. So I was genuinely very impressed this year with how the New York Yankees did. And disclaimer, the thoughts expressed in this vlog are strictly my own opinions. I did not expect the Yankees to get as far as they did this year. I don't think anybody out there did. At best, I said we were a wild card team, and it's kind of funny. We get the wild card. We play Minnesota, and I'm like, okay, we'll probably beat Minnesota. We beat Minnesota. Then we get to the LDS, and I said, okay, we'll lose to Cleveland, maybe push them 5 games. And we win 5 games against Cleveland. But my problem begins there was, once we beat Cleveland, I said, we're not beating Houston. We have no chance to beat the Astros. And even when we took a 3-2 series lead against the Astros, I said, we're not beating them. I have no faith that this pitching staff can hold the lead. I wanted to play Boston. And there's a guy I watch on YouTube. I talk to him sometimes. He's a diehard Red Sox fan, Bobby Gaines. He's a good guy. You should go check out his channel too because he does Red Sox stuff. His Red Sox, I would have rather have played them because that would have been a much better challenge for us rather than playing Houston. The Red Sox this year, to their credit, won the AL East, and, they deserve to win because they're built right. But this is not a Red Sox video, this is a Yankees video. For the first time in a couple years, I sat down and I was actually happy watching my team play. The 2016 Yankees, I did not expect that team to go anywhere. I was like, halfway through the season, I'm like, well, we're like 23 and like 25. This team is not making the playoffs. And I kind of felt bad out there. And, I'm sure any fan would to an extent when you know that your team sucks. Perfect example, go back and watch the 2015 and 14 Red Sox. Those teams were garbage. They were horrible. And they were basically throwing darts at a dartboard, and nothing that they did could work. And they kept trying, and eventually they're just like, wow, man, we're terrible. Part of the reason is that they keep trading off your prospects. Stop trading off your prospects, Boston, then this won't be happening. I'm serious. Anyway, like I said, this year I sat down and I watched the team, and at the beginning of the year it was horrible, and I was like, oh no, it was a disaster for us. But we kept playing. We were in games to the very end. Even the games that we had lost. I said to myself, okay, they lost them, but you could see that the team had spirit, that they wanted to play, that they wanted to try. The 2016 Yankees, they didn't want to try. They're down 7 runs. Oh, gee, guys, we're down 7 runs. Let's just throw in the towel now. They would give up. This team would do the best that they could. If they lost by 7 runs, then, they'd take it and they'd go to the next game. But even then, even when we went on a winning streak, like the beginning of the year, I think we were leading the AL East this year for a good majority of the year. Why were we ever in first place? This team was not a first-place team. It was kind of awkward for me because all year long I said that Boston was going to win the division. And I was like, as much as I'm a Yankees fan, I said New York is not a first-place team. We don't deserve to be. We're a wild-card team at best. We're not first. And I'm like, Boston, why are you not, getting up there? And, even throughout all that, again, this team to me was not a World Series team. We have a lot of flaws. Our pitching staff to me is bad. Other than Tanaka, Severino, if you saw what he did against Minnesota, why should I believe that this guy is going to be, a future star for us? I mean, he looked like he didn't even know where he was in the game against Minnesota. I've been reading a lot of things about Joe Torre, or no, not Joe Torre, the management of the Yankees, like Joe Girardi getting fired. I don't know who we have to hire. I feel, and I'm going to make a separate video on that, I feel like we need to hire somebody who can relate to young players. But like I said, our pitching staff this year was horrible, and our batting, sometimes I was wondering like what Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez were actually doing out there, because a lot of times Aaron Judge would just, he'd just strike out like crazy, especially in the playoffs. I mean, where were Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez? They certainly didn't look like that they wanted to be there. I mean, those didn't look like the 2 guys you saw in the regular season. I couldn't find them. Like, what? Were those 2 people, like, imposters? I mean, and even Brett Gardner, he really didn't contribute anything to our team. So, overall, like I said, it was a great year for us. They mildly surpassed my expectations. I will say next year, I do not expect them to win the World Series. I'm not going that far, but I think we can get to the LCS again. And I think we can get to the World Series. I'm going to say this right now. My World Series prediction next year is going to be Yankees-Dodgers. I feel like that is what we should get. I feel like it would be a great thing, or Red Sox-Dodgers. That's what I feel too. But, if I was New York this year, what I'd do in the offseason is I'd trade Brett Gardner, see if I can get anything for him. I would show up the pitching staff, because our bullpen now, I'm going to be honest with you, when you have Betances, Chapman, and I think Robertson out there, okay, you're good. That's a scary combination. I mean, whenever you play them, like when they came in with games this year, I pretty much knew that, okay, they're probably going to shut this down, and they would more likely than not do it. There were some times where they didn't do it, but most of the time they did. And I'd keep them. I'd try to show up more of the bullpen, see who's out there. I don't really know who's out there this year. It's not a big free agent class. Next year, you get Harper and Strasburg on the market, and I definitely would make a play for them. I hear there's this Japanese sensation who's, I think, a feud hitter, but, do we really need him? I mean, I don't really know if we need another star from Japan on our team. We had Ichiro when he was way past his prime. Anyway, let me know what you people think this year about the Yankees. Again, it was a far better year than I thought. Congrats to the Houston Astros on winning the World Series. And, hopefully we can do better next year. And a shout out to Bobby Gaines. Check out his channel if you want to hear stuff about the Red Sox. Be sure to subscribe to Walk Talk 21 for more great videos. Thanks and take care.